If you've been wanting to learn how to use Canva and then turn those skills into a profit, then just keep on watching. In today's video, I'm going to show you how you can search for the best or star seller designs on Etsy and then recreate that concept using Canva. Now, I'm using Canva Pro in today's video, which is a paid feature, but if you'd like to see how to do the same thing, which is create best or star sellers on Etsy using the free version, then just leave me a comment down below. Now, before I start designing, let's do some research and actually find some inspiration on Etsy. So on my second browser here, I have Etsy pulled up and I'm going to type in Mother's Day. Now, from this first page, I see that there's over 3 million results, okay? But I still like to see what can be created and what's on the first page with no ads. So I'm really focusing on this second row here and I'm looking at this particular design. Now, when I click on this design, I get a pretty good view on, number one, why this is a star seller and a bestseller. As you guys can see, a lot of sales is in a lot of carts. So this is going to be a great gift for moms, in the future. And so I'm just going through the pictures to really take a closer look at the design. They also have variations, which if you think about it, this looks very easy. Now, I'm not sure if this person is actually using some type of like cutter or anything, but what I'm focusing on is the design itself. Okay, so just the mom with the names in the middle, and then you have the "We love you" at the bottom. Now, this is a pretty simple design, so let's go ahead and create this same concept in Canva. So if you're new to Canva, this is what your homepage is going to look like. The difference that you will see between yours and mine is that I actually have just a few more projects. So when you just get started, you're going to have a blank page, but that's all about to change here. So when you first get started designing, Canva has a lot of default presets that you can choose from. So in the upper right hand corner, you're going to click create a design. Now right here, this is where you can pretty much see what they suggest. So you can use the doc format, the whiteboard. They have the presets for Instagram stories and posts and so much more, honestly. But just for the sake of this video, I'm just going to use social media, which is a 1080 by 1080 size canvas. Now, because I chose the social media template, it's going to give me social media style things to add. However, it doesn't matter really on the canvas size. It's more about how much space do you need to create your design. And I personally think that this is big enough to recreate that mom design that I just showed you on Etsy. Now, what I also did was added a second page so that way I can see what the design looks like, so that way I'm reminded and I could just again create similar concepts but now just using Canva. So it looks like this seller just has the regular serif font for the mom, but then they have an offset shape, and in the offset space it looks like they have names, and I'm going to zoom in so you can see. It looks like they have 4 names with hearts in between, really giving that personal sentimental touch. This can be either this mother's, children or her grandchildren, and this is a really good personal gift, right? So let's go ahead and recreate this in Canva. I'm going to go back to my first canvas that's blank. I'm going to zoom out so you guys can see. I'm going to go over here to elements. This is where you can find pretty much all of the graphics, all of the magic is housed under elements. Now, as you can see, I've already found something similar, so I'm just going to use that. However, to find this element, I just went up here in the search bar and I typed in the letter M. And then I went to see all, so that way I can honestly see it all and just to see like what type of letter M they offer. And they offer a pretty hefty amount of designs. However, this is the one that stood out to me because it looks similar as the same concept, and I love that. So I'm just going to go ahead and use that M. Now, what Canva does is they suggest a lot of similar designs based off of what you originally started with. So using this M, I have other recommendations, like all of the magic recommendations that they use. And also, because I'm using the Pro version, this is letting me know that this is a pro feature. So if you're using the free version, just be aware that there's going to be some features that may be limited to you. However, once you sign up for Pro, which is the paid version, then you'll be able to have access to all of their designs. So I'm going to keep on clicking see all. And as you can see, wow, they have some pretty cool things that match, or look similar to the original design that's on Etsy. And I like that. So let's keep going. So I have the M here and I need an O, okay? And I'm going to resize this here in a second. But since I already have the first M and I'm just creating mom, I'm just honestly going to duplicate this M and then put it on the side here. Now it's running off, but have no worries. I'm just about to resize it. just to make sure that the letters are matching. Everything just looks congruent and all that stuff. No big deal. Just delete that. And then once I like that size, I'm just going to come back over here, duplicate it, and just scoot it over to the other side. And now just play around with this O, because there's still some little discrepancies here. This doesn't take long, honestly. You just have to pay attention to where you see some like little mess ups, and then you'll be good. So all in all, this looks pretty good to get started with, and then I can just adjust it, fix it up, clean it up later. It's all good. So let's just start with the base. So again, we're recreating this offset Mother's Day design, okay? And so now we have our base, which is our mom. Now, if I wanted to make this a little bit bigger, I can. I'm just gonna select all of it and just move my cursor to the side to expand it to make it bigger, so that way I have room to put the names in between. Okay, so here's the design. I went ahead and grouped all of the letters. Now I want to go over here to my text panel and go ahead and select the text to add the names in between. Now this is going to be a good opportunity for anyone looking to make personalized gifts, so you can add personalized gifts are a really great way to start on Etsy, because it allows the customer to be in control if they want to have, of course, different names. So this can be what you create honestly as like your cover, but then you can also allow the option, of course, to add different names, so that way the customers know that this can be customized, because obviously everybody's kid's name is going to be different. So that's what I'm saying. This is a good opportunity to have that personalized type of listing in your Etsy store. So I'm honestly just going to match up the names. So I'm going to type out Ella. Now it's going to start me off in the default font, and I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is look for some cursive fonts here. I'm going to go up to my font drop down, and I can look up cursive or script fonts to see if there's something I like that looks, appealing, that's going to look really cute inside of the mom letters, and I could just play around with that. Now, I'm not really a fan of a few of the Canva fonts. I'm just not going to lie to you. That's just my personal preference. So I always like to import my own style, and you can do that for free. So I have another tab up here, 1001 fonts, and it gives you so many options. I mean, over 24,000 options of fonts that you see here that are free, that you can download and import to Canva. So check out this option if you guys want to. If you're not really satisfied with what Canva offers, you can import fonts for free through them as well. I'll leave this link below so that way you can check it out on your own. But I went ahead and downloaded a font that I liked a little bit better, and it's this one right here, the Santika script. And so that's what I'm going to use. Now, if you look close here, there's some hearts in between each name, and I like that touch. I thought that was a good idea. Now, if you're using a MacBook, you can pull up your Emoji Keyboard by using Control, Command, and your space bar. And that's a quick way to pull up your Emoji Keyboard. This can apply to anything you're looking up. You can be on just like a normal website, Canva. It doesn't matter what website you're on. It's going to pop up whenever you need it to pop up. And so now that my Emoji Keyboard is popped up, I'm going to go ahead and use the heart, which I already used before. So it's right here. And now that gives me a better touch. Now I'm sure you can find hearts within Canva too. If you wanted to just be a little bit more meticulous, you can definitely do that. But since I have kind of like a built-in feature on my MacBook, that's what I'm going to use here. And I'm going to keep matching up the names that I see here just to give a better example. So I'm just going to add some space in between and then type in Grace. The next name is Liam. Control, Command, Spacebar, Heart. Expand that out by using this sidebar here, so that way it reads legibly and it's not just underneath each other. It's all on one line. And so then the next thing I'm going to do is type in the name Sarah, and that's pretty much it. I've been able to recreate the concept and now use something that is totally beginner friendly. It's not as intimidating as Adobe Illustrator or Photoshop. You can design this super fast, super quickly, and all by doing your research to really see what's selling well on Etsy. So this is pretty much it. Now, while we're here, if you want to go ahead and be a little bit creative by using this same concept, but let's just say you want to cater to dog moms. So what you can do here, I'm going to add another page, and I'm actually going to select the puppy paw offset design that I have here. Now this is going to be super cool because again, if you are making a gift for a close friend who is a dog lover, dog mom, dog dad, and they really love their dog and they just, they love special gifts, this would be another good idea to utilize this offset feature since it's been proven that it's a bestseller already. Now, this is going to be something, of course, you can change up. Again, you can make it personalized. You can make this a personalized listing. But I just wanted to point this out. If you're very new to Canva, I would suggest you explore the elements because there's just so many to choose from. So from this design, I'm just going to make it a little bit bigger. And so what I'm going to do is go to my text panel, select the text, and then pretty much just type in a name in between. I'm going to make that bigger by dragging out my cursors. You can also increase your font size by hitting the plus and minus arrows at the top header here. So I'm just going to expand this and make it a little bit bigger. And then if I want to, I can also just change the font, just make it have more dimension to it, and you have something that's easily made and that could also be a great seller for someone who, loves their dog, for someone who are pet parents and they just want to have something that reminds them of their dog. Now let's go ahead and talk about copywriting and what that means when it comes to Canva and, the purpose of reselling. What you cannot do when it comes to Canva's laws and just copyright infringement, you can't just take a design and download that file to resell it. That's what you can't do. So for an example, let me go ahead and add a page. Let's just say I take this letter M and I literally download it as like a PNG file and I create a listing on Etsy. I cannot do that. That's what you cannot do. However, what you can do is modify the designs that Canva already offers. So this particular example, I modified the design by adding in the text, therefore making this an original from what they already offer, if that makes sense. So again, you can't just take their design, download this, and then you sell it. That is what you would get in trouble for. But what you can do is take a design that they offer, modify it, make your own creative changes, and then you can download that file. Now from here, you can download the file in a couple of different ways. Let's just say you want to offer SVG files for people who are creators, people who like to craft and have their Cricut or Silhouette Cameo, but they don't really want to design. All they want to do is print out something and then cut it on their Cricut or Silhouette Cameo and put it on whatever they want to put it on. That's an option too. And so to do that, you'll click the share button up at the right hand corner. And then when it comes to download, you would then select the SVG. Now this is also a pro feature, and if you're new to Canva and you have the budget, I strongly recommend that you go ahead and pay for this because again, you'll have so many options to the features and you won't be limited. But going back to the types of files, you can simply create this as a SVG file and then sell that on Etsy. So there's so many options you can use this for. You could print this out, download this as a PNG file, and then you can also upload it on a site like Printify. If you're thinking about starting like a print on demand business where you don't want to have the inventory, but you want to just put a design on a product, you can use a site like Printify, which is free, and then you take that design that you just made off Canva, download this as a PNG file, and what you want to make sure you do is also make sure that the background is transparent. Another pro feature, you won't have this feature if you're using the free version, but let's just say you want to take this design, download it as a PNG, transparent background, and then you go to Printify and then you go find your design or upload it, and then now you have something that you just made within a few minutes that you can apply to a product. And so just to preview this, just because, let's just see what it's going to look like from what we made from Canva. Preview this mug and look at that. Now it has different concepts that you can really see how this mug is going to look. Plus or minus a few adjustments that you make, but nonetheless, it's that easy. But all right, good people, that's the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this valuable, then go ahead and pass the love by liking and commenting. As always, subscribe if you're liking the vibe, and I'm going to catch you in my next video. Bye, y'all.